salt, olive oil, honey, or canned fish. Today, we're not going to give you a recipe, but a list of foods to keep in case of a shortage or apocalypse. Sit back and relax. Here are the foods you could keep in your pantry forever. You're home alone. Your little mama isn't home to cook you a nice comfort food and the hunger is starting to set in. You go down to the kitchen, open the dusty cupboards you haven't opened in a while since you've been eating out lately and find an old pack of crackers. You look at the date and it's long gone. Let me tell you something that will make you happy. Saltines and crackers are still good to eat after the expiration date as long as the package is still closed. You will be able to eat them without being afraid of getting intoxicated, but I don't guarantee that the taste will be the best. Indeed, it could be that beyond the expiration date, these salted cookies have lost their flavor, so do not expect to enjoy. But at least you won't have an empty stomach and can wait until the pizza guy rings. You are preparing a pie with your grandmother and she asks you to pass her the jar of honey on the shelf. You are about to pick it up when you notice that on the huge jar it says honey from 1940. You are very surprised and you ask her why she keeps a jar of honey dating from the Second World War. She answers that this honey would still be good to eat 100 years from now, or even more. You should know that honey contains bacteriostatic agents. In other words, no bacteria can grow in it. As a result, it never goes bad. Like honey, sugar can also be kept for life because bacteria cannot grow in it. However, this is not a reason to keep only sugar or honey in the cupboard, just because they never go out of date, because your blood sugar levels could explode if you eat too much of them. Go finish your tarte tatin quickly. The kids will be home soon for a snack. You'll have something good to teach them. You're with friends by the pool and you suddenly feel like having a good barbecue. Ideal for a hot day like this. You and a friend volunteer to make the salad, while the men do the grilling. You go to the kitchen, prepare your salad, but realize you don't have any lemon on hand to make the dressing. Your friend goes to the cupboard and pulls out a bottle of white vinegar. You think it's a joke, but she tells you she's very serious. The expiration date of the white vinegar has passed several months ago. She uses it for cleaning, and now she hands it to you to make your salad dressing? The situation leaves you speechless. She then tells you that white vinegar has the particularity of being non-perishable. Indeed, because of its acidity, vinegar can be kept without a use-by date even though there is one on the bottle. Vinegar makers pasteurize the vinegar before bottling it, so there is no reason to throw yours away. You're shocked to learn this, but you're still glad to have learned such an important thing, as you're used to throwing everything away as soon as the expiration date approaches. Now you can enjoy your salad. You are hiking with a friend in a forest when you suddenly decide to stop for a bite to eat. You've brought bread, cheese, a few slides of ham, but damn, you forgot the salt. While you are lamenting your fate and calling each other names, your friend cuts your melodrama short and pulls out a small bag of salt from the bottom of her backpack. Smiling, she says, "Here's this little bag. It dates from my trip to Tunisia 7 years ago, but I think it should do the trick." Horrified, you tell him that you would never put this poison in your sandwich. Wait, but what poison are you talking about? Salt is a mineral that has been used since the dawn of time to preserve food, since it has the advantage of never going stale. The only drawback is that since it is 7 years old, it must have agglomerated because of the humidity, but it doesn't matter since it is still consumable, and the taste is there. What more could you ask for? Now you can bite into your sandwich. It's Sunday, you're at home, and you don't feel like eating out or getting something delivered. You're in the mood for a good cassoulet. It's strange, you have a strange craving for a Sunday. Anyway, you go to the kitchen and since it's been a long time since you went shopping, you'll have to use that 4-year-old package of beans. Wait, what are you doing? Don't throw it away. Beans, chickpeas, broad beans, lentils, and other pulses have the particularity of not containing water, so they are edible and do not spoil, as well as rice and certain seeds such as quinoa, rye, flax, oat flakes, and many others. You can cook them without any risk to your health, except that the only drawback is that you have to cook them a little longer than normal. Relieved? So, who's going to have a good cassoulet for lunch? You're a big fan of Oriental cuisine, and you are in Morocco, the country of spices. You would like to take with you astronomical quantities, but as you live alone, you are afraid that they will go out of date. Don't worry, this should delight the gourmand in you. Spices have the particularity of not expiring, so they will not cause you any gastric problems if you consume them after a very long period. You can therefore keep them on your kitchen shelves forever. On the other hand, even if they don't expire, they will eventually lose their color and intensity, which can alter the taste of your dishes. So don't wait too long to consume them to take full advantage of their gastronomic virtues. So now you can take curry, ginger, turmeric, saffron, as much as you want. And then you will think of me when you taste your tagines. Your mom comes back from a trip to Morocco and she brought you tons of bottles of olive oil. You're delighted to have pure olive oil, but you live alone and you're sure you won't be able to use it all up before the expiration date. I reassure you, this oil has an unlimited date. It is not for nothing that it is called green gold. If you store it in a cool place and away from light, olive oil keeps very well for many years. This is why it is used to preserve olives and other vegetables in jars. But to take full advantage of its nutritional properties and its subtle aroma, it must be protected from oxidation by the air. To do this, you need to choose an opaque and airtight bottle. With all these bottles, you will have to empty a cupboard and dedicate it only to this. But believe me, it is worth it. To you, the good paellas and the Mediterranean dishes. You are shopping at the supermarket when you come across an exceptional offer. 5 cans of coffee for the price of 2. You're a coffee lover. You wouldn't miss this for the world. But one thing is holding you back in your euphoria. You will never manage to consume it all before the expiration date. I reassure you, take as much coffee as you want, because it keeps very well over time. You just have to make sure that you keep it well, neither in the fridge nor in the cupboard that is too hot. Coffee has the property of acting as an odor sponge, so it hates extreme temperatures and places where too much food is kept. Its natural oils could freeze in the cold, destroying its aromas and modifying its organoleptic properties, and this will lead to a thermal shock during preparation. But be careful. I'm not saying that today's coffee will have the same taste and aroma as 10 years from now. So take it, but expect that there will be a change in taste with time. The most important thing is that you can take it without any health risk. You, who stay up all night with your exam preparations, you have taken the heavy artillery. You've probably seen in war or apocalypse movies that the characters stumble upon old bunkers or dilapidated warehouses with cans of food from the Second World War, which they eat without any problem, without suffering from poisoning afterwards. Have you ever wondered why? Do you think it's for the movie that they spare us the diarrhea episode? Not at all. Let me tell you something amazing. Don't rely on the date that the industry marks on these cans. Contrary to popular belief, vegetables and pulp in cans can be consumed years after their expiration date, as long as the can is not swollen, opened, punctured, or changed, in which case it may mean that the food is spoiled. Nevertheless, their taste is not going to be crazy. However, you can use them in a preparation that will give them more taste. So now you know why movies always have old cans available for the characters. Since you like coffee, you certainly like to accompany it with dark chocolate. Sumptuous gustatory marriage. The real ones will recognize themselves. But did you know that in addition to being nutritionally better than milk or white chocolate, dark chocolate can be kept, unlike its two brothers, for as long as you decide, or as your stomach decides? I have a feeling that what I'm about to tell you will surprise you. Not content with being tasty, dark chocolate can be kept for up to 2 years. It doesn't have an expiration date, but rather a best before date. You just have to make sure that you pack it at the right temperature. If you open it, you can still keep it as long as you close it properly in the aluminum foil. On the other hand, you will notice that a thin white film has settled on your chocolate, that it may have lost some of its specific qualities, that it has a slightly changed texture, color, and taste, but it will not cause you any inconvenience. At the same time, who can leave a bar of chocolate lying around for more than 2 days? There you go, eat your chocolate with a clear conscience. Well, almost. You've left for a few days of vacation in your southern home to enjoy the sun and the beach. Once you arrive, you unpack your groceries and you realize that you, unfortunately, forgot the indestructible ingredient, the one you can't do without: pasta. And as your house is very far from the center, you'll have to do without it for a few days, which seems impossible. You then hurry to look in your pantry if your mother would not have left by chance a package of pasta, and bingo! You found it. But wait, why would she leave it if she knew you were going to be out of the house for a long time? This pasta must be inedible since no one has been here for 5 years. Well, let me tell you, your mom is too good. She must surely know that dry pasta has the advantage of never going stale. If it's really dry and stored in airtight containers, you can still use it. And if it's fresh pasta, don't waste it because it has a very short shelf life. And when you open them and there is some left, make sure you close the package well because food moths love this dry pasta. Were you worried about not eating pasta all vacation? Don't worry now. Pasta bolo, Alfredo, and coquillettes hams are yours. So, what do you think of these imperishable foods? Could you eat them even after a long time? Tell us what you think in the comments. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive all the notifications and not miss any of our upcoming content.